was put on this earth to build a world where all kids can feel safe.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
We sure would love that if you'll have us.
Folks just love a good American family.
Again, this is anything but a good American family, y'all. Welcome to the stream tonight. We are back to talk. What is this, episode 4 of Good American Family, which airs on Hulu. And y'all, I knew we were going to have to get here. I knew we were going to have an episode that would get us to the place where Natalia was living on her own. I just didn't think it was going to be told in this way, y'all. Because while they got some of the events correct, the settings have changed. There's a lot of different stuff here, y'all. And all I can say is I don't care how they try to spin it. The Barnetts were, and will always be trash in my book. But I'm not here alone to talk about it, you guys. Coming to the stage first, we have Tyra over at Struggle Reviews TV. Tyra, how are you today? And are you ready to get into episode 4 of Good American Family?
Oh, yes, I'm fabulous. And I told you. This isn't a show for Natalia. It's just, this is, hot garbage. But I'm here for it. I'm here for the story, and I'm ready to get all up into it.
I'm still holding out hope that because this is just the halfway mark of the season, that we are going to get Natalia's take on things. I'm hoping. It don't look promising, y'all, but I'm praying and I'm hoping, because we can't go out like this. And last but not least, coming to the stage, we have B. Avery over at Just My Opinion Reviews. How are you today? And are you ready to dive into episode 4?
Yes, I am fantastic today, and I am ready to get into episode 4 and all of this silly chaos.
Oh my gosh. I just want better. And I get it, because even in the moments of the worst, traumatic events, I found myself laughing. And I think that's what they aim for with this, because just the level of like hilarity and salaciousness that goes on within this show is beyond me. I'm still surprised that Ellen decided to come on this show. After doing 20 years of Grey's Anatomy, this is what you choose to do in your downtime. Tyra, talk to me about overall thoughts after watching episode 4.
I was just waiting for us to get into the independent living of it all. She's finally there. I just love how she went in. She was like, "Do you have anything else to say, Natalia?" She's like, "No." She just walked in. She just walked in the little apartment. This is what we've been waiting on. It was interesting to kind of have this episode center around Michael. Like, did it center? I mean, this is very much so in old girl's favor. I don't know, because you said he sold the rights, but it doesn't give that with what they've given us here. I guess they just needed the rights to just do whatever they wanted to do with the narrative. But like you said, I saw a few moments here. I was like, okay, that actually happened in a roundabout way. Everything else was a bold-faced lie. It was a lie. They got, a couple of notes right, but I was just here for us getting into the independent living, and I'm hoping they broaden the spectrum and we get to see some of those neighbors and those interactions, and it just being like, is she a little girl or an adult? Whatever she needs to get the hell out of my apartment.
Lord have mercy. This is just y'all. I cringe because I know it just gets worse. It just gets worse from here on out. Brandon, overall thoughts of episode 4. What would you think?
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse in the best way, because I'm still entertained. Michael finally came over to the light, but it still took him too long. And I got to give it to him. They set this up as a real horror movie towards the end at one point, and that was very entertaining to me because I didn't know what was going to happen. But there's just still so many things that are unrealistic. And I know that the creators of the show know that, so I'm questioning like why they're doing it in the first place. Just I guess to mess with us because this story has been told so many times. They're like, we're just gonna have super duper fun with this one and all this ridiculousness. But I mean, it is really silly and stupid, but I am still really enjoying myself. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So I'll say that.
Listen, this is primetime viewing. Like, this is good TV. I mean, I can't knock it. But episode 4, right there in black and white, Michael, it's right there in black and white. You can't see it. And so as this opens up, the year was 1995, okay? And we are getting Kristine's take of not their meet cute, but basically how they got engaged, how they got married, and basically overstressing the fact that Michael has been this way since 1995. Okay. Michael is gonna Michael. We see her driving up frantically, a look of concern on her young face as she sees Michael standing on the ledge of a bridge, ready to end it all. But was Michael ever really gonna end it all? No. He's a drama queen. He was never going to end it all. This was a moment for him to get what he wanted, which I guess at the end of the day was Kristine. Brandon, I'm starting with you. What did you think of this flashback? Michael, a very troubled Michael on the bridge, and Kristine running in to save the day.
That's a hell of a 180 from going to wanting to kill yourself to like, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And so that's just very, very unstable, defining his character. But your take, however, is one that I did not think of, that Michael's a drama queen. I thought that he really was going for it and, had some screws loose. But you're saying that it's all for attention, to get Kristine. That makes me hate him even more than I already did, if that's the case. I didn't see that, but we see that this relationship, the foundation was built on sand, and that's probably why it didn't last decades later. But I definitely didn't see this coming, but quite interesting.
Oh yeah, and of course I'm adding the real story into this. Michael was, and always will be a drama queen, and will do anything to achieve whatever he feels like he wants in the moment. From my opinion, Tyra, the year was 95. What did you think about this stunt queen and his bridge endeavors? Was he real?
She said, I've been carrying this shabby shell of a funky man on my back since 95. Since 95, here with the antics, we all know that the real Michael is very much so a special needs case. He on the spectrum. I don't care what nobody say. He's over there, and we know that she has an affinity for individuals, children, adults alike who are on the spectrum. She wants to be a savior. She's always wanted to be that. It's painted differently here, but this is what it's been. This has been the dynamic of their relationship. This was probably, even if this wasn't so much, I guess, super accurate, this is a good representation of how their dynamic works and how frantic and dramatic he can be. And what she has to do to kind of cater to his nature and pull him down off the ledge. But I thought this was funny. I was like, what? Why are we in 95? Y'all just really going all off on flights of fancy with the story.
Listen, that's what they said we needed. And this was when they got engaged. She says, when he gets down, she says, you're going to marry me. I'm going to be able to keep you and save you, Michael. And we're going to be together. And the rest is history. So now we fast forward present day. Baby, he's putty in my hands. Let me send him this sexting message because his new wife can't do it like I did it. He's wide open. All I got to do is wink at Michael, show him a little piece of titty, and he is putty in my hands, friend. Tyra, I'm starting with you.
Don't start with me.
I got you.
I said, girl, put that up. Girl, put them up. Put all of that up. I don't care what you're doing. Put it up. I just love how it's presented here. It is so small when we know in a grander scheme, she was all outside, all online, divulging all of herself. Girl, you was out here, girl. Okay, but
Spread eagle. Spread eagle.
spread eagle, girl. I don't know who she was sexting or what she thought. She if anybody, thought they had persuasion and they was putting that ish on and putting them on the glass, it was her. If she want to put them on the glass for Michael to get some act right, that's fine. But the way she was like, oh, like, look at all I got to do is show him a little falls back in the line. It was like, girl, put that away immediately. It didn't give what she thought it gave for me as an audience member, but believe in yourself.
Girl, and then not the shh, don't tell nobody. He's married to his new wife, and I never would, but
And
I
you
could
could
if
never. It's always been me. I can control him. Like I was like, girl, this is a hot, funky mess. I mean, but it's still in a bearer of truth because he was having his states of like, oh, look at those pictures. If I could just get home and get myself together, I can get me a little piece of that again. Like, Michael, get your life together, please.
but the way he acts in real life is not far fetched to think that
Yeah.
that was the case. Brandon, in this conversation, she's saying, Michael went running his damn mouth. Now he's arrested. I can get Michael to bend to my whim. Whatever I need him to do, he will do. His new marriage and wife be damned. What did you think about this moment? And were you surprised at Kristine using her feminine wiles,
Yeah, I'm curious about that because at the same time, the friend that that's looking at the phone now was saying, "Wait a minute, are you still sending these type of images, photos, videos? I thought this was something you do in the past." She's like, "Oh no, he's a married man now." So I'm curious as to why she brought it up in the first place. If she doesn't do that anymore, I don't know. I guess reminiscing on the good times, but I guess that they weren't good either. So I was kind of confused by that, to be honest with you. And Kristine is a bit more confident than she needs to be. Um, you know, Michael, okay, would be happy with that, but that's Michael, and so I'll just leave it there. But she can dial it back a tad bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, that won't happen because word on the street is in real life, basically, she sexted him and he gave up custody of his sons because of the Smex or the offer of Smex. I don't even think he got a whiff of it.
It
I think
was
it was
though,
just
Ashley, because remember he was like, she just wanted us to. She withheld the sex, and I just didn't know what to do with myself because she was keeping me away from the sex. It's like, Michael, really, you relinquished all of yourselves, your rights, your dignity, Natalia, her state for the sex. All right.
Mhm. So, I mean, maybe Kristine was really cooking. Maybe she put it on to make him want to marry her, like Rashida said. But now we are into book deals and an arrangement. Now we're back in the past again. And Kristine letting it be known that, Michael, listen, I'm paying the bills, buddy. This is my house. You keep that little in check and I'll manage this, right? Because I'm about to get this 6-figure book deal. I'm on the phone with the people right now. I got to meet with this ghostwriter and I don't have time to deal with you and Natalia's foolishness. So get in line, buddy, because you're not paying the bills anymore. Brandon, I'm starting with you. What do you think of this arrangement and the book deal and the fact that Kristine is letting it be known? I'm the breadwinner now, Michael. I run this.
I don't have a problem with it at all. Some people may, but Michael is not getting the picture. I mean, it goes without saying, if you're not bringing any money into the house, you need to be doing something. And all she asked you to do is babysit for a couple of hours. I mean, gosh, you can't take Natalia to the mall, to the movies, drive her around the block. But he wanted to do laundry at that point in time and have a pissy party. I mean, again, Michael is awful. They wrote I don't know. They just like, let's just write the worst male character possible so that we can have everybody hate him and people can have something to talk about because they succeeded there. But I'm 100% with Kristine right here. Michael is a moron. I mean, he shooting himself in the foot. So he's a dummy.
Man. And you know what, Brandon, what's crazy is I think that this depiction is giving Michael grace.
Really?
I think this has
Oh
been
my,
a better depiction of him than who he is in real
I need to see what you saw or y'all saw because
life.
That frantic man.
Tyra, is this an unfair depiction of Michael, or is this giving grace to him?
I mean, you sound real hard on the phone after you last episode. You had said you gave me whole threats about us keeping Natalia and we're not sending her to a mental institution, and I'll blow all this up for all of us if we don't keep her. Now it's time for you to hold up your end of the bargain. Now you're tired. He's tired, and he could barely maintain with her at work that one day at Circuit City when she came crawling in like a newborn. Why? Who wants to be pent up with Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son for long periods of time? Don't nobody want to be with her? Like, absolutely not. We wait for her head to spin around and do a whole, 360. It's just too much. But Michael, this is what you signed up for, and you need to hold up your end of the bargain. Like, this was really, really ridiculous. And for this one time, I was with Kristine. Watch her.
And in addition to that, shout out to Kristine. When the ghostwriter came, she held him up. Like Michael makes the impossible possible all the time. It was a lie, but she still tried to make him look good. So shout out to Kristine. Sorry if I jumped too far ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. We got slides where we are definitely going to dive into that. But in the meantime, in between time, right, while he's complaining about how hard it is to deal with Natalia and maintain, we get a visit from CPS. And now we got to contend with some surgeries that Kristine said she was never going to pay for. But now she has no choice because allegedly Natalia done called them people, came for a visit. They have to do the separate interviews of everyone, goes in there, comes out and says, oh yeah, we won't worry about this until after Natalia's surgeries are done. So no, you're going to fix my legs. Y'all are going to pay for this surgery, and all at the behest of a Natalia who called CPS and advocated for herself. Brandon, were you surprised when you saw CPS knocking on the door? And do you believe Natalia called them?
Oh, 100%. She called. My goodness gracious. Yeah, that's who else would have called. But with this right here, I'm on the fence. I like it, but I hate it. I hate it, but I like it. One, I like it because if any child is in danger, I want there to be a quick, fast, swift response to put them in safety. But at the same time, I don't like that anybody could just call CPS or whatever if the child is mad because they got put in time out for 5 minutes, and that's just the case here. Later on in the episode too. So I mean, they're doing their job. So I can't get mad at them for that. But it's just really frustrating that they have to go through this because of this demon child. So. Oh, and also, like, this should have been the point to where they pulled out all the papers. Like, this is a farce. This is crap. She's an imposter. I don't know why Kristine wasn't on the top of her house on the roof, with all the papers. Like, look, everybody, look, we're being bamboozled. So it was a missed opportunity too.
Like I said before, Kristine is very strategic. I don't think there's ever going to be a moment where she wouldn't have monopolized on a situation if she could have. I think she knew what she was dealing with in this moment, but we'll get into that a little bit deeper as well. Dane C, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I just binge watched this show and I blame Ashley and Tyra. Why you got to put my name first, Dane? This show has the dumbest characters I've ever seen. Glad the creators pointed out this orphan. Baby, this is based on real life, Dane. We know you don't like the reality true crime documentary streets, but this is real life, Dane.
That we've covered, Dane. That you were probably there for and forgot.
Tyra, talk to me about CPS and the surgeries.
This was so different. This was really, really different because if there was ever any involvement, as far as from what I know, it was from, people on the outside looking in, neighbors who thought really highly of Kristine. But however many times we was having Natalia struggle to walk around that block, go take a walk around the block. She was walking around that block. At one point, I believe the CPS situation was like fully realized because she was sleeping outside. And then it was like, okay, yeah, something is going on. We need to call somebody. And we have it here in the show. It's just like, oh, yeah, I called him. I really didn't. But yeah, you going to get those surgeries for me? I was like, what kind of mess is this? It was completely flipped. And of course here it looks like it's Natalia to manipulate, not only because she just wants to ruin Kristine's life at this point, but also who said you're not paying for my surgeries? Because you're gonna pay for my surgeries.
Pay
I
for
was
my
like, all
surgery.
right, this is
Yeah.
different.
No, she's taking mile-long walks and running on the beach. I'm like, girl, you wanted a surgery so bad, like you needed that. Okay, all right, now you needed it. Now we have ghostwriters and lies, honey, because let's get into it. So the ghostwriter is listening to Kristine recount the woes of Jacob. You know, everybody told me that he was this and what he wasn't going to be, and I didn't take no for an answer. The first therapist who came with this diagnosis, Michael fired him. Did you know that? But like Brandon said, Michael has made the impossible possible. He's a good man, Savannah, and I love him. Ghostwriter says, listen, all that's well and good, but I need to see your house. But let's stick right here in this yarn that Kristine is knitting for the ghostwriter. Tyra, talk to me about this whole exchange between these two before we get back to the house.
Girl, I just was here with Kristine. It was just laughing. She was like, keep the heifer far away from the book. Anything I have going on. You got one job is to make sure she don't throw a tampon in this lady face like a grenade on the field. Keep her away, Michael. You have one job. She's like, you know what? I can't even trust that. Let me just keep her out of this house. And everything's going pretty well. We know that Kristine just likes to paint this picture perfect narrative. And it was going up until a certain point, but I did really like the fact that it kind of rang true for what you would think with authors and books and certain interviews, whatever, when it comes to publicity and image. Girl, we don't care about that. I don't care about none of that. You do your due diligence to make sure that doesn't get out of line and get out of hand to where you're found out. But if you can maintain it, I'm all here for a look. It was very laughable that Kristine would say anything good about Michael. It's like, girl, where? That was really, really laughable because we know damn well Kristine wouldn't. But she did. You know, as far as image, she's about her own image and maybe those boys. She ain't saying too much as nothing about Michael, but the way that this episode was framed to like just stroke his ego and he's sensitive. I gotta handle him with kid gloves because I want him to succeed and feel important because you matter, Michael. I care about you that much. Never in life. Never in freaking life.
And I think it was by design. I was like, because at the end of the day, he was the one holdout for her plan. Like Michael is standing in between, right? Like the family's separating. I'm going to be here with Natalia. You can be over there, but I'm standing on business behind Natalia because I love her. That's my daughter, Kristine. And I think everything that she does, again, is strategic. I think even him overhearing that portion, like, girl, you knew Michael was listening and that was going to make him just,
Made it feel good too.
make me feel good. I just want to feel good. Brandon, talk to me about the ghostwriting and the lies of it all. What did you think of her excluding Natalia from her life when talking to this ghostwriter?
Well, I definitely don't blame her. I would have did the same thing, but I like the ghostwriter to a point, because I thought she had a stick up her butt, but when the secret came out, she was like, cool, like, hey man, we all got stuff going on. This is a little bit out of the ordinary, but nobody's perfect. So excuse me, that made me like her right there. And I mean, I gotta give it to Kristine again. I do like the fact that she was able to say something nice about Michael. But back to the ghostwriter, I said I liked her to a point. I would just really, I guess I don't know the job and she was doing hers, but when she asked about their finances, I was like, damn, that's like really, really personal. Just like, okay, how do y'all afford the house? Because Michael ain't got no money and you got this deal with the advance. I was like, geez, Louise, that's a bit intrusive, but maybe that's, excuse me, what she's supposed to do. So I don't know there, but other than that, I mean, that rubbed me the wrong way, but other than that, it was cool.
I'm here for the ghostwriter. I don't know. She looked a bit curmudgeonly, but again, at the end of this, she says, "I want to go back home with you because you've given me the meat of the novel, but I want to flesh a few more things out. So I want to go back to your house. And of course, as soon as we get back to the house, Natalia's up to Natalia-ing, okay? And this is allegedly something that really happened. She took one of the younger son's toys, threw them in traffic, and the little boy ran out and tried to get it. Kristine had to save the day. Now the push on the way back, I didn't know about Brandon. Talk to me about the last straw because this was it. This was it for Kristine. She said enough is enough. Damn it.
Yeah, that push was epic. I'm not mad at her at all. I giggled a couple of times watching that right there. But man, this whole scene was a disaster. It wasn't just one event. It was just a hurricane of BS, stupid decisions, like all within 15 seconds. Michael don't know how to babysit. Natalia trying to kill the kids. The boy running out there, about to risk his life. He's about 11 or 12 years old. Like it was dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. Like, how do you not know to look both ways when you crossing the street? I mean, I wanted him to get hit. I was that frustrated. I didn't care. I was just thinking that they deserved it. That's quite a sight to see for the ghostwriter, for her to see all of that. I mean, I can only imagine that was like top 5 in her career of her visiting homes. That she's gonna write that in her memoir. But yeah, I'm mad at everybody except for Kristine. She did the only thing right. But I'm mad at Michael. I'm furious with Natalia. And then the little boy running out there as well. Just stupid. It's just, I don't like him either. So the whole family is dumb at this point.
Tyra, Matt, or what's his name? Michael said, Kristine, you can't push her like that.
Why not? Why not? That was the whole equivalent of, in White Chicks, when Marlon's he's dragged and he's trying to get to the bathroom, he goes, move. Like, she pushed her so hard, and it was like, get away from my kids. It was funny though, because the way Natalia just fell over like a garden gnome, I just thought it was funny. It's like, oh. It was just funny, and then Mike was just like helpless. Oh God, you can't do it. Like, Michael, please, like it shouldn't have taken for it to get this far. This was hella dramatic, but like you said, this is something that was stated to have happened with Natalia. This was just so funny though. I just ran it back a couple of times and put the mooch in my head. It was going in rotation as she fell to the ground every time.
Oh, Tyra. Now, of course, and you guys touched on this a little bit earlier. The ghostwriter's only thing was, do what you want to do over here. Tell all the lies you want. Just make sure everyone's on the same page. And we know in real life, no one was on the same page. Everything eventually all came out in the wash, but I had to get the ghostwriter looking like that because that was funny. Now, we have to do things. We have to get out of here because, listen, Michael, if you did what Natalia just did, I put you out too. I gotta go. You can stay here with the demon seed of Chucky if you want to, but I'm going to my mama house. Now, I thought this was interesting because, again, in the real life account, we have no clue about a Kristine mama. Kristine had no parts in the documentary, didn't sign off for anything. So this is all new to us. But basically, she goes back to her childhood home with the boys because they're going to rest it out, I guess, figure out what they need to do moving forward. Hopefully, Michael will get to the truth of the matter. But in this, we find out that mama didn't protect me. That Kristine was subject to abuse at the hands of her father, and that mama did nothing. And Kristine refuses to be that type of mother. I want to start with you, Tyra. Talk to me about this and the introduction of this information, because this isn't a part of the narrative that we've heard before. If we watched the doc, at least.
And it was, and I was like, who is this for? I was, going through my little mental. I was like, this didn't happen. We didn't even meet. I think we heard a little bit as far as maybe Michael's people, and maybe not even so much that, but or just the shaping of him as a young man to why he was in such a state, and Kristine just ruining his life and taking it back. Yeah, we heard from Michael's mother. We never heard this. So what is this sympathy play that's happening? Well, who is this for? Who is this for? I was here for the mom. I really do enjoy this actress and a little bit of everything that she's in. So I was here for that, her going back home, whatever. She is available here in the show for that. When we got off into Kristine's traumas, and what about that time you made us eat glass? Well, I was like, what? When did this happen? What? What about that time? Like, it's just trying to give some levity as to why she's going into mom mode, and I'm going to be the best mom, and that's why maybe I've never given up on my children, but also why I'm here, because I'm going to protect my boys over all else, because you never protected me, mom. It's like, this never happened. This never happened. It was it was entertaining as far as I guess Kristine, this version of Kristine that we're getting backstory. I'm like, we're definitely painting her to be a certain way, but I thought it was interesting, at least in this light. She got her boys and got out of there and went to the she put them first. She put them first,
So here's the thing with the narrative that we've gotten thus far. We don't need to humanize her further. I think at this point, most people love Kristine. I think that this has been a popularity contest with her this entire show up to now. We didn't need her background in trauma or abuse. But Brandon, you're on the other side of this. So talk to me. What did you think about her choice to go back home with mama and the confrontation? You didn't protect me.
No, wait, Ashley, put EJ comment on the screen real fast, just for 1 second, just so I can say it. We were all abused.
That's
Because Michael is special. I couldn't pass it. I'm sorry. All I heard was Michael's voice yelling, "We were all abused."
We were all abused, Natalia. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. I am Team Kristine for this move right here. I think that is the best option. And I'm just still shocked though, like hearing y'all's take, because y'all are saying either this is new information or the exact opposite from the docs. But they made Kristine, look like the responsible one that doesn't, want to break the generational curses, and I understand that wholeheartedly. So if she feels that her family's in danger, especially after the incident with the car and traffic, I'm 100%. The mom does seem horrible. Like she doesn't take any accountability, responsibility. Talking about sugar water, and I was like, okay, well, if you was getting fat, that's one thing. Maybe sugar water is the best thing, but eating glass. She said nobody ate glass, but for that to even be a question, there's a problem. I mean, I don't care how. I mean, your children's safety comes first. I know that's your spouse and you love them, and granted he was sick with cancer and seeing things, but you got to get the help. And she doesn't want to be, she's not apologetic about it. She's still making excuses. Oh, you think you know everything. So to me, the mother stinks. The mother sucks. I'm glad that they have the relationship that she can at least go over there in times of need, but life isn't fair. You can't choose your parents. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're in the middle. And seems like Kristine had one of the bad ones that wouldn't protect her. So that sucks.
I guess this is here for that backstory. Was that episode 2 where Michael was like, "All right, Kristine, you're worrying me. You're starting to act like your father." Then the crazy's peeking through. I was like, "What? What is this new information?" This is a part of that information.
Yeah, that we're supposed to get and care about. But easing on down the road, Michael's at home. He's daddy daycare, but Michael has a plan. He's got interviews from the waist up. You know what I mean? Party or business on top, party on the bottom. And Natalia, just do me a favor. Just be good. Just be good for this next hour. That's all I need from you, Natalia. Okay, daddy, I'll be perfect for you. Not 2-3 minutes into the interview, the popo knocking at the dodo. We done got 5, 6, 7, 8 calls from here. Natalia, yeah, daddy, I was hungry. I wanted pizza. Really, Natalia? Really? The police said, I think you need to be a better parent. That's what I think you need to do, Michael. And as he's leaving, let's talk to Natalia. And Natalia's like, look, Dad, hey, I was hungry, but we want to be back together. Mom and your brothers, they're over there. They can die. I never want to see them again, Dad. I just want it to be me and you. And this was the moment of clarity. This is what it took, Tyra, because Michael was holding on so tough because he loved Natalia that much.
Girl, please. Please. This was funny. I'm always here for his Bert and Ernie. Hey, can you sit in the bed? I was like, all right, putting a whole lot on Michael. Can you sit in the basement? It's going to be 1 hour tops. Can you be quiet? Like, okay, all right. We're really trying to drive this narrative home as far as Michael is concerned and him being the good old American dad. But he should have known. It shouldn't have taken this version of Michael to get this far for him to be like, oh God. Oh God, maybe she did call CPS. This is just all too much. I've been wrong this entire time. And she's just like, Well, I want them like not. I don't want them to come back. I knew he was in for not getting this job. Soon as Daddy's gonna do this interview, I'm gonna get a job, and we can all go back. She don't like everyone. She never liked your son. She never liked Kristine. She wants you, the dad. What she wants you for, I don't know. They give it orphan vibes, so we're gonna let that go. But it shouldn't have taken for him to have this situation and get this epiphany. Like Natalia trying to get y'all locked up, call it, and she wanted pizza. This was pretty ridiculous. I would think at this point she would still want to maintain some type of facade if she is presented to be this manipulating adult here. She's like, no, I want them dead. Like, what? Is there a plan or not? I don't know.
Brandon, this is what it took. This is what it took for Michael to see the light. Are you proud of Michael at this point? And what did you think about Natalia calling the police for pizza?
No, I disagree. This still wasn't the moment where the light bulb went off. It took another incident after this that we're going to get to because he was still too friendly in the next scene. So he is a moron. Michael is retarded. I mean, like the cop said, get your stuff together. First of all, Natalia's saying that she wanted pizza. What babysitter and or adult or whatever would not get the victim, the child, food and some snacks before the scheduled meeting? I mean, now she's gonna have all types of cakes and cookies and French fries and all of that. All the screens, all the tablets, all the monitors, everything. So that bothered me right there. But she also, I mean, at least he did go off like, which one is it? Is it pizza? Are you hungry? Are you bored? You know, it was very satisfying to see Michael crash out. Because everybody else around him is, and he's the only one being calm the whole time. Like, well, we don't understand, or I don't understand. I didn't see it. Natalia, did you really do this? You know, and so I mean, he couldn't hide the fact that she called the police because you know she admitted it. So I was tickled by that right there. But then her just saying, "Hey, I want them dead." I was saying that to myself, like, why would you just, you know, admit that? Like, you know, what did you expect this response to be? I want them dead too. Let's go get them. You know. So I mean, I guess that just shows how loony she is right there. But yeah, and that was a horrible interview that Michael was doing too. You know, tell me that's a good question. No, how do you avoid conflict? That's a good question. Well, I try to avoid it. Yuck, 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 yuck. I'm like,
God, is when he went, oh, just one second, I'm gonna get the door. Somebody's at the door. God damn it! I can still hear you, Michael.
I still hear you.
I can still hear you.
Still on. You didn't mute Bookie. You didn't mute that. So now it's time to go visit the mama and the brothers at Big Mama house. And we go out there. And now this is a departure from real life as well, because there was an event allegedly with an electrified fence. But this was supposed to be a family outing where the boys, Kristine, Natalia, they were all at it was a creamery in Indiana where they had like the animals, the cows and stuff. And they had an electrified fence to keep them there. And there was an incident at the fence. And Kristine claims that Natalia tried to throw her into the electrified fence. But now we've made it that this happened at Big Mama house. And of course, none of us are privy to it. We just hear a Kristine screaming through Michael, she's trying to kill me, Michael. And then of course we see the ambulance. Call an ambulance. We see the ambulance outside rendering aid, telling Kristine to drink a Gatorade. She tried again, Michael. Well, now what are you going to do? I believe you, Kristine. I believe everything you've said. I'm sorry it took me so long. Brandon, talk to me about your impression. Did Natalia throw her into the fence, the electrified fence?
Of course. I hope by the end of this show or season, there's a squabble or a fight between Kristine and Natalia to see how strong. That would be very entertaining. But of course, she threw her into the fence. But this scene would have just never happened in my world, because on the way there, I would have kicked Natalia out of the moving car so she can get rid of my ex. Because I mean, once she says, "I want your family dead," I mean, that's it. You know, I'll risk going to prison, you know, to protect them. But this also pissed me off because Michael should have been. He shouldn't have. On top of that, he shouldn't have took Natalia with him in the first place, or I don't know what was wrong with the phone call. But as soon as he pulled up to the mom's house, he should have been screaming out of the car, "Family, I'm sorry, I was wrong." This big ITCH over there in the passenger seat, back seat, She said she's gonna kill you, but hey, kids, let's give me a hug. And it didn't take until she was about to be pushed into the fence for him to, okay, I believe you. I mean, that was the reason why he came, but I just didn't like his intro. So finally, he did admit it. It took far, far, far too long, but hey, it's better late than never.
So now he's finally come to his senses, Tyra. She tried it again, Tyra. What did you think about this whole display?
I was just saying, you know, I didn't just fall right. You know what this is, right? You know, she put. I was like, oh my goodness. This was. I knew. I was wondering. I was like, are they going to try to do like the fence thing here since we're at mom's house? And they did, and it was really really funny. Just the idea that Natalia, in her state in that particular time, pushing her anywhere, or having any control to cover her eyes while she's driving, or all that. It's just really really outlandish, but it's funny at the same time. And then Michael's like, "Oh, kids, I just like calm down, Dad. You just saw us yesterday. Relax, relax." It's like, oh my gosh, that was funny. But yeah, they want us to think that Michael's a weak, wimpy man, and it shows. It's just like, it's not my fault. It's not your fault, Michael. It's mine. I didn't protect our family. It's okay. I'm just gonna take all the resolve because I want to uplift you. A complete departure from the Kristine we know, but this was just really, really funny. Just when he got out the window and looked like, oh my God, what's going on? And you see Natalia standing over her like, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, why? Why? It's funny.
Lord have mercy. Just, that's what we needed. So now we got to send her to LaRue Carter. Michael takes her out in the rain and they won't take her that night. We got to wait till the morning, Kristine. Well, what are we going to do? Should I go back to my mom's house? No, I have an idea. I have an idea, Kristine. We're going to lock her up. We're going to lock her up. She's going to have everything she needs. We're going to lock her from the outside. We got a camera in there. We just take turns watching. We're going to have a movie night. And I mean, everything about this was insane. So they go have movie night in bed as they're watching her on the camera. And she's spazzing out, screaming, hollering, so much so that just as the power goes out in the house, the police come to the door. A detective, not a street cop, not a beat cop, a detective. The neighbors have been calling. What's going on? Listen, we're scared for her lives. She's not who she says she is. I don't know what we're going to do. She's tried to kill me. Like, there's just so much going on. We need you. Tyra, I'm starting with you. And then, of course... Well, yeah, and then next we'll get into the detective and here's what to do. But talk to me just about the setup for this.
Girl, the setup was insane. This what horror film is this? This on the dimly lit night, a man with a dark trench coat came to the like. What are we doing here? The thunder struck. Then we opened the door. He walked in, took off his trench coat, and said, "Aha!" Opened the door to the basement. Like this is not real. This is not real. This is crazy. This is really really crazy. Like. They're rationalizing like, oh, we have to think about ourselves, our children. We gotta lock her up. We gotta lock her up. And it's like, it's just temporary, right? Yeah, it's just temporary. Like we're coasting because we really don't want to lock her up. We're not those kind of people. We're Christians, okay? We would never hurt a child. But in her case, she's evil. We have to put that in the basement and we gotta turn the volume all the way up. I was like, okay, that's that. When that detective came to the door and she rationalized and mansplained, and it was like, yeah, I've seen things like this before. She's definitely old. I'm like, you ain't even, you barely seen her. You barely seen her. He's like, when he goes and talks to her and comes back, oh, she's clearly older than what she's pretending to be. I wish we could have heard the conversation. Like, y'all let us hear and see everything else. I wanted to see how he got to that conclusion. But how Kristine's narrative use this detective to kind of give her all the answers that she ever needed. Okay, I know somebody, and my cousin's uncle, mama, baby, daddy, cousin, we had this same situation, but yeah, we can age up, we can get her out of here, and yeah, we're gonna, because you guys are Christian. She's clearly taking advantage of this good Christian folk. So this is a lot to get us to where the hell we need to be when we know this isn't what it was, but it was really, really funny. The dimly lit house, the mustache on him, the intensity of this conversation, the light lit in the background. It was just very, very dramatic.
It absolutely was. Absolutely. Brandon, talk to me about this. Locked up. We can't let her out.
Yeah, the horror movie out of nowhere. This is what I was talking about earlier because I was entertained by this because just everything went wrong all at the same time. The lights cut out, the storm comes, and then the detective. And again, why is it a detective? Why isn't it two cop? Like he didn't have no partner. I mean, just walking into danger like that, if you suspected that they were the boogeymen and women, you didn't take any precautions to get hit in the back of your head. But at the same time, he did like he could handle himself. So it was funny. I did not expect the giant exposition dump from Kristine. It was effective, but I was like, wow, this is just really working out. I mean, look at them right there. They're sitting down all the paperwork and stuff like that. Like that just wouldn't happen. Like this whole scene is just unrealistic, and him having ties to this type of work. I mean, well, he's a detective, but still, it was just too perfect. Like this was a script from another movie or book, and they just like put it in right here. It's just adding on to this whole silliness, but it was fun. I mean, I'm glad that they're together. Kristine and Michael are on the team. It was fun seeing them kind of panic, looking at the monitors, and Natalia just beating, like she's possessed or something. Excuse me, I genuinely was concerned, like, oh man, like what's going to happen? Is she going to break out of there? Is she going to be going to the attic, the walls? Is she going to try to kill them? Like, I really didn't know until the cop showed up. So, I was entertained by this. It was stupid, but I was entertained.
I didn't know, B. I was done when Natalia looked up at this camera at the night vision. Her eyes were all black. I was like, okay, you know what? Just right.
It just behooves me where she gets this supernatural strength from. Like she can make all the noise, she can cause all the destruction and chaos with two bad legs because she just had her surgery and she's able to push people into fences. She's able to throw stuff into the middle of the street and run and tip over and take a hit. She's able to do all of that. Hey TG, good to see you. Thank you so much for the 99-cent super sticker. We appreciate you so much. Now, of course, and y'all already touched on this, but here's what you do, because I believe you. You guys are good Christian people in the Bible Belt, and you live in the suburbs. I know you're good. You're white. You're good. I know it. Lied to you. Here's what you do. You go to the doctor. You get a note. All right. You're going to take that to the judge. He's going to age her up. No contest. That's when you get her out of the insane asylum and you put her out on her own. That's all you got to do. And you're good to go. Mind you, in real life, no record this conversation ever happened, but this is alleged. According to them, a detective did tell them and give them this advice that they followed to do. But none of this detective's notes from the Times say any of this, that he recommended anything. Nothing of the sort can be found at this time.
Never will be.
But let them tell it. And so now, done and done. Easy peasy. Let's go back to the doctor who's a friend. Let me go to the dentist. Let me go to a couple of other doctors, get all that stuff done. He's going to sign the paperwork because remember, his biggest regret in life was not listening to her. Talk to me about it, Brandon.
Yeah, he doesn't want to repeat the same mistake. And I don't blame him for that. And even though I don't believe that a detective really showed up and gave them that, I'm 95% sure that they just made it up, which is fine. It's expected. But I gotta say, I don't want to go too far ahead because I'm confident you have a different slide for the end. But at least right now they're doing what they should be doing with the information that they have at this point. That's all I'll say for now. If this was possible, I would be trying to get the receipts too. I'll just say that for now.
But Brandon, would you put your medical license on the line for Kristine? Like,
well, yeah, I don't think he's doing anything wrong or lying. Did I miss something?
Well, I mean, he determined it. She went to all these other specialists and I think brought him paperwork and he's signing off on it as a whole.
Okay, well, that's ridiculous. I thought that he actually, I thought this was legitimate. Like, hey, you're right. This is this is that. So I'm gonna sign off on that. They've been BSing around. I not once that I think that he was lying right here. So that's new to me. I just didn't think that. I could be wrong though.
Well, I don't know. I think he thought he was doing what was right based on what they brought him back from these other specialists. Because remember, in the beginning, he's like, I can't say if she's
That's
younger or older. You'll have to go to the dentist. You'll have to go to all these, maybe an endocrinologist, maybe these other doctors. And so now he's just signing the paperwork for court based on.
and unless he's about to retire in 6 months, I don't know. He can probably be like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going on cruises for the rest of my life, because people, I heard older people be doing that. That's pretty dope. Yeah. If it's not that, he's silly. He that doesn't make any sense. 8 years of school at least, and thought, man, get out of here.
Listen, Tyra, done and done. Say less. Say less, Kristine. I got you.
It's no coincidence that they introduced us to this man however many episodes ago. Like, we knew that he would come back into play. We would need, I like at least this little bit of validation, because I walked away from that doc just, who does Kristine know? Kristine clearly knows, people in high places, whether it's judges or doctors. No one with common sense, we're going to sign off on all those things for Natalia to even get in that apartment or get aged up. So it's like she had to know somebody. And then how the court proceedings she has to know somebody. So at least this is, even though it's not confirmed, this makes sense. But I wouldn't risk it all for Kristine. But, if we feel like we owe her something and I should have listened to you, and my biggest regret in my whole life, like, really, that's your biggest regret? But all right. It gives, this pressure as to, what, I'm going to sign off on this. I'm going to do this one thing for Kristine. But this was very quick. We skipped over so much. Like, the lack of desire that this show has to show any compassion for Natalia is alarming. It's really, really alarming. I'm trying to just accept the show for what it is, because this clearly is not to do her any favors, but it's like really jarring. Y'all already got her like looking spooky. It's spooky. She looks spooky. It's macabre. It's that's her image, but the narrative that is being painted is really, really troubling.
Oh, extremely. The only thing I'm saying that they did in terms of favoring Natalia was not giving us her inside the psychiatric hospital.
Oh God, I'm so glad they did that
during this, because I think that would have been that. I can't even imagine.
They would have had Natalia dancing on top of tabletops and flirting with grown orderlies to have her way. I couldn't take it.
An old man. Yeah. And I'm scared of what they're going to do in this neighborhood. Honestly, I'm honestly scared. TNT Bandit, though, wants to know from you, Tyra, how much Tyra cameo costs to tell ghost stories, because that's a treat. She want to pay you.
I'm not going to play with y'all, but you already know the base of anything is always $25.95. Okay. I'm not going to play with y'all.
That's our base rate. Y'all heard that. $25.95. That's the base rate. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, TG. This is a creepy looking doctor. Yeah, and I like the actor. I adore him. I see him in a lot of network stuff.
He looks like he genuinely thought he was doing a good deed for these good Christian folks that helped him once upon a time.
Absolutely. And now here we are. Natalia, your mom even bought you new makeup. Here's your suitcase. Here's your raggedy duffel bag. It's packed up. Let me take you to the hood in the good area, but it's still the hood. Let me go on and drop you off. The way that they didn't even walk her into the apartment, the way he opened the door, dropped the suitcase and said, all right then, Natalia, you be blessed. And she shuts the door, and there is this collective sigh of relief. But before that, she says, Natalia, you're good. Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Damn it. I don't need you. I'm glad to be done with you. And basically their sentiment is, go harass someone else. You are no longer our problem. Tyra, I'm going to start with you because you're so well acquainted. What did you think of this scene? Is this everything you imagined?
No, I'm so glad you said that, because when they were talking to the detective and he was like, well, why didn't you guys report her or call the police? Well, we wouldn't want to put her off on another family and jeopardize them. We would never. I was like, what? This is so far-fetched. This was hilarious when it's like, well, look, we got you some government assistance, girl. You got some food stamps. What more do
Yeah.
you want? We got you a little
Okay.
EBT, okay? Got a bus pass. Somebody gonna swing by. Check on you. Yeah, we gonna leave you here in this little shabby. We gonna leave you. We gonna drop you off in the hood and just let you be. And she was like, oh, like, Natalia, you're 22 years old now, because we said so. Okay,
Mhm.
you're 22 years old. We need you to act it. Mom got your makeup. We packed all your things, but it was like Natalia's reaction of accepting her fate. No, I'm fine. Like, because when she was talking to her, like, yeah, you did all this manipulation and get your surgeries. What do you want, huh? What do you want? Money? Like, what do you want, Natalia? Like, all this is just really, really funny. And then closing the door. She's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be good. We're gonna make it. This is to save our family and our marriage. We have to let that old go. She gotta get the hell out of here. It's like, this is insane. Like, we just know how Natalia got here. So this is just really, really unbelievable. There was no saving of anything. Like, Kristine wanted to be rid of Natalia, but she also wanted to cut. Where are the benefits? We're not going to talk about the benefits, huh? We ain't going to talk about the checks that Natalia was getting for her disabilities that we wanted to collect as to why we didn't want to
They
call
ain't bring
anybody.
up no cash assistance. They ain't
We
talking about
didn't
no
bring up
cash
none
assistance.
of that. They sure brought up that EBT real quick.
And quite as kept, she didn't even get the EBT at this first place. He was doing the grocery shopping for her, and they were keeping the EBT card in this first apartment. I think it was the second apartment when she finally got the card.
Yeah, it was all of that. It was all of that. Like, this was just really, really hilarious. I just like how she was like, I'm fine. And she just closed like, I get it. They should have just pushed her in there and let her just waddle onto the floor and slammed it. Like, at this point, lock her up. This is insane.
When I tell you, he dropped that suitcase right in the front of the door, Brandon. He said, "Here you go," and Kristine followed it up with, "Let me shut this door." Bye. Were you here for this moment? Does Natalia need to be living on her own? Is she really 22, Brandon?
Yes, she's 22. She does need to be leaving her own. And no, I'm not here for this moment. I was confused. They just went through this whole circus of proving her age and proving that she's full of crap. So why are you moving her in like this is the first day of college and dropping her off at the dorm? Like, are you serious? I would have punched her in the chest, let alone move her in and buy her groceries. And I mean, I don't understand it. If you went through the steps to prove she is an adult, we're done. I'm uploading this to the internet. I'm sending it here. I'm sending it there. I'm saving it to the cloud. Like, it is going to be known in these streets. And mind you, Kristine is a public figure. So I'd have been like, look, I have been taken advantage of. I got the documents right here. This is not a little girl. I am no longer responsible for her. But they move her in, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. Somebody please make it make sense. But this was crazy to me. I mean, I was laughing when she was like, looking back, like, damn, I lost. You got me.
Like, I thought you got away with it. See,
Right.
hey, I got you. I'm like, what? This is
Right,
just
like,
really, really funny.
I'll return. I mean, that was funny, but because I do want to see Natalia suffer, but I don't understand this decision as a whole. It makes zero sense to me.
They bringing it around, Brad. And Natalia went in there like, yeah, you may have the upper hand now, but I'll be back. Like, what?
I want us to just remember that nothing is as it appears, and there's still some benefit to them having Natalia. Oh, go ahead.
My fault. Also, we got to remember. Well, I mean, y'all probably didn't forget, but the episode started in 2019, and they're separated. So I'm just thinking, what happened after this to make them split up? Natalia must have returned with some BS, and I just can't imagine what that could be. So
Much more.
I
Much
already
more.
know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, much more. Much more to come, Brandon. But you guys, that was episode 4 in a nutshell. And I stretched it even as much as I could. But yeah, do you guys have any predictions for episode 5? Brandon, I'll start with you first. Anything you think might happen in the next episode?
I mean, we got to see Michael and his new boo, how that came to be, if at all. And Natalia must have somebody working on the inside to get rid of all the documents or something. I don't know if all the doctors and lawyers died or whatever. Like, I don't know how they were charged with abandonment of a 22-year-old. Like, is she? Maybe she ain't really 22. I don't know, but yeah, I gotta. I don't know. I don't got nothing else.
How is a 22-year-old even in? They've said they've had her 2 years. I think at this point, I think they make mention. She's been here for 2 years. If she's not this in 2 years, so you think a 20-year-old would have had the wherewithal to scheme, plot, and do all of the things that they have accused her of doing?
It's possible, yeah.
Okay, okay. TG, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Tyra is keeping it real, and I like it.
Oh yeah,
She's keeping
I don't care about them
it
kids. Beat them kids. Beat that kid. She would have get the hell out of my face. She gotta go.
Tyra, any predictions for episode 5, Tyra?
With how heightened the show has been thus far, I'm expecting full blown shenanigans in this apartment complex. I am expecting the worst because we know what occurs there. And for my money, those were the moments in Natalia's life that we got to hear other perspectives outside of Kristine's and David's. And just to hear those people and how they perceived her, that's when I really started to question, well, dang, how old is she? Are we sure that she, I mean, is she, how old is she? Those are the things that we can't really explain away, are those moments where we have Natalia in the doc. Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that happening. Oh, you remember everything else, Natalia, but you remember those things taking place. But I want to know how far they're going to push it, because they're pushing it pretty far. I'm expecting the marriage to continue to decline because we're going to have Michael somewhere. I wonder if she's. I hope she has enough food. I wonder how she's doing. You think Natalia's okay in her new living arrangement in her apartment with her EBT? I hope she's okay. Michael, leave it alone. We're moving forward. It's going to be a whole lot of that to get us to the point of their marriage breaking down. But I'm here for it.
Oh, Lord, I'm honestly very nervous about. Just because, Lord, it can go so bad. This can be so much worse. It can be so bad. And because there's a lot of stuff that's very, could be potentially triggering and very super salacious and wild. And I just wonder how far they're going to take it. I'm like, is this going to be a Ryan Murphy affair when it's all said and done? Because it has the potential to be that. And yes, Darfalina, I think when you're thinking about Natalia in this situation, you also have to think about not just whether or not she's an adult, but whether or not a person who needs as much assistance, a disabled individual for all intents and purposes, should have been dropped off with a suitcase and a raggedy duffel bag with nothing else. You know what I mean? That's something to ponder and to think about. TNT Bandit, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Down payment on my Tyra series.
Look now, don't play. Y'all know I was a mean kindergarten teacher. Story time was lit. I was getting them in the feels in the moment.
I bet. But you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us. Brandon, I'm going to start with you. Let the people know what you've got going on and what they can expect from you over at Just My Opinion.
Thank you very much for having me, Ashley. It's always a pleasure. Always wonderful to work with Tara as well. And guys, you can follow me right here on YouTube, Just My Opinion Reviews. Me and Lamont with Get a Life Games, we also had a breakdown of this episode. So if you want to hear another take, subscribe and you can check that out. I'm also covering Raising Canaan on my show, Daredevil, Reacher, and what else I got real quick? Dope Thief, Apple TV Plus, and Magazine Dreams. I can't believe I slept on this, but I need to do some type of coverage on number one on the call sheet. It is they got two part one and part two, one for the black men, one for the black women. Just a bunch of blacks in Hollywood breaking it down. So that may be coming as well. And I'm doing various lives too that I'm gonna be coming up with. I may do like a top 4, top 5 of black topics each week. So that's cooking in the kitchen too. But yeah, subscribe if you like my energy, and I would love to have you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you for joining us on these Thursday nights to talk Good American Family. Tyra, what's going over there on the struggle bus? What's happening over at Struggle Reviews TV?
Struggling. Okay, so tomorrow, y'all, we getting real toxic. We will be doing a watch along for Disappearing Acts, over there with Sanaa Lathan and Wesley Snipes. It's going to be very stank. Can't wait for it. I can't wait to watch and react to that with y'all and the members and all that good stuff. That's going to be fun. Raising Kanan is always every single Saturday. I'm really excited to see where the show is going with this being a pinnacle or whatever episode. So hopefully some things pick up there. And most definitely Sunday, we're going to get into our binge crazy all along, watch along marathon. I hope everybody turns up and tunes into that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for being here. And remember that if you guys are a member to either My Sweet Perspective or Struggle Reviews TV, you are welcome every Saturday night for our blockbuster movie night. And this week is no different. And this week I'm hosting. So it's my choice. So I am going to leave you guys with my choice. And if you feel so inclined, join the membership. We thank you so much for being here. Have the most amazing rest of your night.